What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Day two of me learning to be a machinist. Day two went 50-50. It's funny, I had the same experience, but in reverse, and we'll get to that here in a minute. One of the things I didn't mention yesterday was, and this is something I'm kind of proud of myself for, because I don't like being in the spotlight. I know I've been on stage and I play guitar and I do this. It's so weird, but I don't like being in the spotlight. So when I first walk into the classroom, the first thing I do is like, how far away can I sit? So that I'm not seen until I raise my hand when I don't understand something. But I read something, God, I can't even tell you how long ago it was. I said, if you want to be successful in any class, sit in the front row. Let the teacher see you dead center. You are the center of attention. Let them focus on you. Sit on their lap if you have to. And I gotta say, it is scary. It is frustrating. And we'll get to that here in a minute. But it's so worth it. It's so worth it. By the time we had lunch, I was mentally exhausted. But we came back and everything was groovy. So the day starts, we have two instructors. I don't know if I had mentioned that. There's a younger kid, I think his name is Brendan or Brandon. I just call him Sir. And the owner of the place, this guy named Cosmo, and he's from Europe, but he doesn't have an accent. I guess he came here when he was like 22 years old. Really nice guy, knows his stuff, obviously. I mean, he's legit. He's legit. And they have two different styles of learning, teaching. The younger cat, for some reason, as he's explaining things, it goes in here. It goes in here and it stays. It massages my mind. It makes me feel good, you know? But then when Cosmo comes in, that all disappears. And I have no idea what he's talking about, even though he's brushing up on stuff that we had talked about either yesterday or today. Like numbers. There's numbers. I'm like, where are you getting these numbers from? I understand the formulas, you know? I understand the formulas and everything. But he just throws out numbers, and I'm just like, what are you talking? Are you talking about the drill size? Are we talking about the, you know? So he, I guess we were even warned about it, and I didn't quite catch it. And he's like, you know, he can go off. He can go off, and it's tough to learn from him. But the great thing about Cosmo is he doesn't give up, and he doesn't get mad. And I'm sitting in the front of the class, and of course he focuses on me. So the first part of the class, we are sitting with the younger cat, right? And we're learning right now, you know, how to differentiate what tap goes with what drill size and how on charts to figure it out. And depending on where on the chart or whatever, you gotta do a formula. Easy stuff once you get it into the gray matter, you know? And then we did this pop quiz. We had our first pop quiz. And I'm telling you right now, after hearing the first three answers when we started to go over it, I was feeling pretty gosh darn good about myself. I aced it. I'm like, oh my God, I do know this stuff now, right? And it was honestly just, you had to write out like decimals and words. And then there was words and you had to write that out in numbers. And I know that sounds pretty simple, but I was surprised by how many people were tripped up by it. I'm talking about, we only deal in thousands. Well, we only deal in an inch. And anything past an inch starts back at 1. And from there on, it's thousands, tenths, you know, all that stuff. So if you had, like, say, 13.004, it would be 13 inches in 4 thousandths. And if it was 4/4, that'd be, or 0.44, you know, 13 and 44 thousandths. If there was a number after that, that's the tenths. You say, and 3/10 or whatever. Easy money, easy money. And I'm acing it, and we're starting to go over it, and I'm like, I answered the first question. He's like, yes, and everyone else was having a little bit of a hard time, and then we started to go around to the third, and then Cosmo came in, and I relieved him, and everything just went, We didn't even finish the test, so I couldn't look smart in front of this fucking guy. I couldn't look smart in front of him. Instead, he drilled me, and you know what? I understand pretty much everything we're doing, number-wise. You know, I understand that, you know, this size for this, and you got to have this and that and the other thing, and the curve and this and that, and all that's easy to me. We even pulled out calipers, and we'll get to that here in a minute. Easy money, easy stuff, easy stuff. What I can't do, and you can clown me for this, my mind just does not operate this way. If you were to come up to me and say, what's bigger, 3/8 or 5/16? I know how the inch works. I know how to break it down in eighths and 16ths and 32nds and 64ths and, you know, and on and on and on. Usually you stop at 64ths because once you get past that, you're... But if you were to ask me which one's bigger and I had to do it in my head without looking at the rule, I'm garbage. And after like 2 times of him asking me, I mean, he focused right on me. Because he knows I'm going to have trouble with some of the math. And that was evident from yesterday's vlog. So he has been focusing directly on me. After a little bit, I mean, I was like, you know how you get hot face and then like all the anxiety comes in and everything just seems so rushed and crazy? And I just stopped him. I said, okay, Cosmo, we need to stop right there, bud. And he's like, what's the matter? I said, and I explained to him what I just said to you. I said, I don't know why my mind can't do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go home and I'm going to find something online to, almost like a digital cue card. You know, I'm going to have a ruler and I'm going to try to guess and look. And I said, by Monday, I'll have it. I'll have it. And he pretty much smiled there. But it was like every question he asked, I know. But because he's there, and it's not that I'm intimidated by him specifically, I swear to God, but there's just something about his teaching style and his presence, the classroom milieu when he comes in. And it was confirmed by other people. Same. Whenever he's talking, it's just like it's all over the place. So he'll say a number, but it's like, where did that number come from? What are we talking about a bit size? Are we talking about, you know? And at lunch, I was like, I asked somebody, I'm like, I know I'm pretty stupid, but... And they're like, no, dude. Nope. And apparently at some point, the younger kid was saying, I love the guy to death, but he can confuse you. He's a great educator, and obviously he has his own machine shop. He's got millions and millions of dollars worth of equipment. And he runs the school that he, you know, out of his machine shop. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about when he comes in. And right when I was about to ace the test, here he comes. Here he comes. And he drills me, and he drilled me, and he drilled me. But then he was like, oh, okay. So we get through whatever it was we were talking about, and he focused on a few other people, thank God. And then we went to lunch. And this is the brilliance of Cosmo. I will talk about him like he's a pain in the ass, but I think this dude is amazing. He's an amazing human being, just in general. Just because I get confused around him doesn't change that fact, you know? I think he knows better. I think he understands the milieu of the room. And after we came back from lunch, he completely flipped the script and said, all right, let's put the books away. And there was calipers in front of all of our tables. Or in front of our seats. And he's like, let's go over calipers. Something I friggin' know. I know calipers. And I excelled while we were talking about that. And a couple of the cats around me were having a hard time. And I got to help them out a little bit. We brought out micrometers, which I've never actually held. I've never held a micrometer. I saw one in casino once when they were doing the dice, and come to find out they weren't even holding it correctly. Martin Scorsese fucks. They weren't holding the micrometer correctly, so that movie's garbage now. It is what it is, but I got to hold one today. I haven't learned truly how to measure. I do know now that one full rotation is 250 thousandths. So to get to a full inch, you got to do it 4 times. And then you have your, you know, whatever. So for those of you with the micrometer knowledge, hopefully I said that right. If not, I'm going to learn it tonight. I'm going to watch a whole bunch of videos on it tonight. So when I go in tomorrow, I'm already prepared. It felt pretty cool to start learning a new tool. One that's going to be a lot more precise. I guess calipers are really just kind of like ballpark. I never realized that. I mean, I never tried to measure anything that's going to save lives with a caliper before. In fact, the only thing I really do with calipers is I measure, like, you know, string spacing for bridges. So I buy or nut spaces and stuff like that. You know, some people like to do the thickness. First fret neck depth. What channel is that? First fret neck depth. But we started to play around with that before leaving. And then the end of the day, we start at 8. We break at 10 for about 20 minutes, you know, whatever. Lunch is around noon, and then we leave at 2. We only have like a half-hour lunch, or sometimes it's 45 minutes. I know, two days. Yesterday it was 45. Today it was closer to about 30 minutes, which is fine. People just started coming in, and he just went with it. You know, it wasn't like a be back here. But overall, it was a good day. It was a good day. Sitting up front is helping a great deal. I am still in some spots, like with the what's bigger 3/8 or whatever. That really crushed my spirit for like that long, and I was afraid to go back in. And not like I didn't want to go, I was going to leave. Not that kind of fear. I was anxious about going back in because I really thought I was going to start getting mad if he just kept going. Because there was a point where I don't know if I said this yet or not, where I said, okay, look, we need to, can you leave me alone just for like 5 freaking minutes? And then I would, you know, by Monday, I'm pretty sure I already said that. I'm going to basically go online and do learning and figure it out. So I know what's bigger, 3/8 or your mom's ass. Probably your mom's ass. But yeah, that was day 2 in the books. Learned quite a bit about me, which I suppose is just as important. We were told that by next week we will be in the shop doing things. I'm sure we're not going to be cutting anything yet. But to familiarize ourselves with, I don't know, the machines and how they operate. I'm really confident that once I get my hands on the machine, because I'm the type that learns with it in my hand. I can sit there and look at someone telling me how to do it all day long. Unless it's something I'm somewhat familiar with, I'm just going to be like, all right, put it in my hand. Tell me. I want you to break it down step by step. And you know what? I think that's the difference between the young cat and the guy who owns the place, Cosmo. The young kid breaks it down. Boom, 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 boom. And then he'll say, all right, can someone repeat that to me? And then we'll come up and do our thing, you know. Whereas Cosmo, not so much. He just starts talking. He just starts talking. We don't know where he's coming from. He could have been on 43rd Avenue, and I thought he was on 65th. You know, I don't know. But so far, so good. So far, so good. I still don't have the confidence in being out in the workplace. And what I mean by that is, obviously, I don't know enough to go to the workplace today. I don't mean it like that. I mean, after I get done with this, am I going to be able to take all this and actually do it there and not be nervous? I don't know. I know it sounds like I'm a big pussy, and I'm normally not, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a scary venture, and I can't thank everybody enough for the positivity. I'm dead serious. I didn't really put this on Facebook. You know, my ladies took the picture, and hopefully I'll have put the picture up. It's traditional to have the sign. Hopefully I haven't said that already. You know, the first day of school for the kids. So one of the kids wanted me to do it. When I went to bed the night before my first day, she's like, okay, he's in bed. And I guess she made it and printed it. And they got a picture of me. I'm not bragging to anyone. I'm doing this, but... And I did post about it, I think on my TikTok. Amelia Macabre Art with underscores. And I was surprised by the encouragement from strangers. You know, TikTok can be a pretty shitty place for people. Let's say you're not feeling too well about yourself, and you go on there and you're just like, hey, you know, I want to vent a little bit. It's weird to do that, but a lot of us do it anyway. You know, I've done it. I've gotten into one of those moods and go, oh, stupid, I hate everything, and you go, you know, whatever. It's not worth it. Now, I'm not making fun of it. I've been there. I've been there a handful of times, but... And there's always dickheads. Always. Every single time. Oh, toughen up and all this stuff or whatever. But it's been all positive. It's been positive with you guys. It's been positive on the TikToks. It's been positive anywhere I go with the information. Excuse me, I'm exhausted. Man, it's only 6 hours, but it really does a number on the noodle. It's been a long time since I've been in any, like, legit classroom. So... Day 2 in the books. I know how to use a caliper. And I know I need to learn what fractions are bigger when it comes to inside of that inch. Guys! Thanks so much for watching. I can't say that enough. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Hey, real quick, a side note. Something I do, if I haven't mentioned it on here yet, is I do the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And that's coming up in October. And hopefully the link is down below. I'm pretty sure I put it down below. I do it mainly through my Atari Creep YouTube channel. But I'm nowhere near my goal. I'm nowhere near my goal. So if you could be so rad as to go down there, if you haven't been over the Atari Creep channel, click on that link and leave a donation at 50 cents. Oh, no, I think you have to do it for more than $5. Because I tried to put $2 in there that I got for t-shirts. I have a t-shirt that's available as well. If that link's not down below, let me know and I'll get it down there. But I make a shirt every year with sponsors on it. This year I Bacon Ice Cream Productions, a YouTube channel, and video game dust sleeves. I got one right here, as a matter of fact. It's this really rad cat. Actually, no, here, the very first one. Really rad cat who makes these dust sleeves for your cartridge games. In this case, the Atari 2600 VCS, as I call it. This was the first year he did them, and he doesn't charge me anything. He doesn't discount it at all. All the money he gets for these, he donates his time, materials, and all that. Goes directly to the Alzheimer's Association for my walk. And he'll do ones with the actual label of the game. He'll do a custom one. He's made plenty for YouTube channels, you know, like Linda the Gamer Girl. I don't know if you've ever heard of her. She's a pretty rad cat. She had a whole bunch of NES ones, and he'll do any cartridge. And if he hasn't done the cartridge before, he'll get it done. If you're into Atari, you'll know what the M network is and the shape of those cartridges. He had yet to have done one of those. He didn't have one, so I just took measurements. He's in another state than I am. Actually, I believe he's all the way on the other side of the country. But regardless, I just took some measurements and took the picture with the ruler and everything, and it worked perfectly. He's a really good dude. So if you buy anything from him as far as with the Alzheimer's, that link should be down below as well. He's one of my sponsors pretty much every year. So he always ends up on the shirt, as well as Bacon Ice Cream. He does his own walk, and he raises so much money and puts it into my thing. And all money's donated goes directly to Alzheimer's. I will not take any money directly. Unless, of course, it's through the t-shirts. I mean, I can't make T-Public put the money. I guess, I don't know. I wonder if he could make that an account. I don't know. Regardless, if you would be so kind as to go down below, donate to the Alzheimer's Association. It would mean a lot to me. My father passed away of it in 2016. 2006. 2006. Oh my God, has it really been that long? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, March 16th of 2006 is why I said 2016. My uncle died of Alzheimer's. And the crazy thing about that is it's my uncle through my aunt, which was my father's sister. So she lost both her big brother and her husband to Alzheimer's. So it really means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it in their memory. I'm doing it for future generations so that we can finally find a cure. We have medicines now that are reducing the effects of Alzheimer's once diagnosed, hopefully sooner than later. I believe it was like 40% reducing the effects. 40%. That's a huge leap. But we're not quite there yet. So if you could be so rad as to go down there and click on it, share the link if you don't have, if you don't have the means, that's fine. I totally get it. I totally get it, and it means no disrespect to me. But if you share the link, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a donation from someone who I don't even know. They're like, oh, through the Atari Creep, I watched your video, you got a filthy mouth and I don't like you, but this is a great cause, here's $10. You know, that kind of a thing. All right, guys. Wherever in the world you are, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for checking out this vlog. Wow, this one was a little bit longer, almost 20 minutes long. Gee whiz. Gee willikers. All right, guys, stay tuned in the books. I'm sure I missed something, but overall, started off a great day, got stressful, ended amazing. I just need to stop overthinking things and just crack the books at home. Guys, take care, keep it real, and bye-bye.